Welcome back to another video where I thought, what a great way to start the month by answering some of your questions. So over on the community tab, just a couple days ago, I put, hey, what do you want me to answer? And today's video to kick off the month is answering some of those questions right here on this video. So if you're ready to get started, don't be dumb, tap the thumb on the video. Let's get right to it. With the very first question, which I think is a really good question. In fact, I get this question more often than you may think. And in fact, I think a lot of people that have been in the stock market and the crypto market for a long time will be like, is this real? But then a lot of people that are new are gonna be like, this makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad that you addressed it. So let's kick it off with question number one, and that is right here. What if your stocks or ETFs go into the negative? Do you have to pay the negative amount off? I get this question a lot, and we could look at it throughout the entire market. We're talking stocks, we're talking ETFs, we're talking crypto, we're talking the whole thing. What happens if it goes into the negative? So here's the deal. When you buy into a stock, and we're going to assume that you are on a brokerage app. And what we're saying is you're taking your cash, you're transferring it into the app, and within that app, you're then going to take your cash and invest it into stocks. Let's pick some random ones. Tesla, Apple, Google, because they're the most relatable. So if we look at those and you're buying them in cash, even if the stock goes all the way down and the company goes out of business, we're talking Apple goes out of business, you're not going to owe any money. Now, of course, the company will have to owe money. They got to pay back their debt. They got to do all that kind of stuff as part of going bankrupt. But you, the stockholder, you're free and clear. So stocks and crypto and things like that can't necessarily go into the negative. So let's say you put a fresh $100 bill on Apple stock. $100 into Apple. All of a sudden, Apple goes out of business. All hell breaks loose. Your $100 simply becomes absolutely nothing. Zero. You don't owe money. It goes to zero. So that's the good thing about it. Now, there is a trick, there is a hook, there is a catch that we need to talk about. And that catch is the fact that it could go negative if you're trading on margin. What is margin? Well, that means that you're actually borrowing money from the brokerage. Brokerage being something like a Robinhood, Webull, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, whatever type of brokerage you're using. If you decide that you want to buy stocks, buy investments, and use their money, not your own, then you could get into a little bit of trouble. And how that works is you're buying stocks on the normal market and you don't have any cash to transfer in. So your $100, you don't have any money to put into the brokerage. Instead, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to trade with a loan from you, Webull. Go ahead, give me a loan of $100. I'm going to take that and I'm going to invest it in Apple and hopefully it goes to the moon. Well, it goes the other way. Apple goes out of business. It goes to $0. You now owe Webull $100. They can institute something called a margin call, which means, yo, we need our $100 back. In that case, you're technically in debt, in negative, to the brokerage. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's move on to question number two. These past few days, watching my crypto portfolio decline is very disheartening. Holding doesn't really profit much. Any ideas on how to earn better in the short run? All right, so I have a huge opinion on this, so bear with me. And again, it's my opinion, so if you don't agree with it, it's all good. But here is my opinion on this. Okay, I'm gonna break this apart in a couple little ways. Okay, yes, the crypto portfolio decline is very disheartening. Over the last year alone, and we're coming up on a year now. So in October, it seemed to be very much surging up to the moon. I mean, October, November, December 2021 were absolutely phenomenal for the crypto and actually for the stock market too. And this year has been absolute crap. So what the problem with that is, it is disheartening. It sucks. It hurts. But there's this very important photo that I saw on Twitter the other day related to Bitcoin. And I'm like, yes, I wish this freaking photo went viral, but it didn't. Here's the photo. Here's what's going on here. So everybody lines up when Bitcoin's at the high, and you could use anything. Erase Bitcoin, put your favorite crypto on that. Put your favorite stock on that for all that matters. And everybody lines up when it's hyped up, when everybody's excited about it, when it's going to the moon, everybody gets in. But then when it's low and it's going down, people like have this reverse psychology to say, well, it's crashing. It's not good. It's garbage, it's junk, and they don't sign up then. Let's go back in time again to 2017. And this kind of answers your question as to my opinion on long-term versus short-term and how to profit. So if you went back in 2017, we were at an all-time high with Bitcoin and Ethereum and things like that. And you would have invested and put money in at that time and just let it sit. you'd be so much further ahead today than you were trying to chase the quick profit in the short term. So my opinion is sometimes people like to chase after that quick profit because they hear the gurus talking about it. They hear how somebody went from 0 to $1 million overnight on YouTube and they're talking about it and oh my gosh, this is the crypto I used, you got to go into it, and then you get into it and it's going down. So you got to be careful about the short-term stuff. The long-term game though, that's pretty sexy. And the patient people are the ones that I see win the most. And I'm not talking about myself. I look and I research all the time. I'm looking at the people that are being successful, that have a lot of money, that have that big net worth, that have millions of dollars, and they're patient. And it does suck. It does suck to say, we got to wait 5 years, 10 years from now, whatever. But before you know it, it's 5 or 10 years from now, and guess what happens? You look back and you're like, oh my God, I did it. An overnight success takes 5 years. An overnight success could take 10 years, but everybody's going to think you were the overnight success. No. You were just patient for 5 to 10 years. So let's take a look at this to make this even more exciting. If you would have, in 2017, when it was at the all-time high, put $500 into Ethereum, and you said, okay, it's 2017, $500 into Ethereum, you're going to leave it in there until now, 2022. Let's check out what happens. You're not investing any more money into Ethereum. Literally, you found $500, you threw it into Ethereum, and you're done with it. Just look at this. This is wild. So we track this, and it goes up from, what is this? This is actually January 31st, 2017. You can see it kind of rises up here. Look what happens here. This is awesome. Your $500 went to $66,555 in January of 2018, just a year later. Oh my God. But then it starts crashing back down. So you have a choice now. You were looking at your portfolio when you had 66,000. Then it crashes down, and it's now, what is this, November of 2018. Kinda is very similar to 2022, isn't it? You go up to the high and then down to the low. But look at this. Okay, so now you're down to 6,900, and you're like, oh my God, I lost all this money. What do I do? I mean, I'm not making money. I'm not profiting anymore. Sure, my $500 is still up, but I'm remembering when I had 66,000, oh my God, I only have 6. What the hell? If you would have just been patient and just held on, you can see the graph is going to start responding. Now check it out. Look at this. Look at the high right here in October 31st. No, November 30th. Look at that. $291,531. Much more than your $60,000 that you had back in 2018. And all it took was $500 in 2017, and you let the thing ride. You didn't care about it. You almost ignored it. And then if you were really on point and you sold on November 30th, you walked away and laughed all the way to the bank. I would say get involved in things that make sense to you, that you're passionate about, that you're okay throwing your money away. If you can't take a $100 bill and throw it down the toilet, you shouldn't be investing in the first place. This is money that you're willing to lose. That way, if it does go down, you're not heartbroken by it. But if it goes up like it did here, and history repeats itself and we have another bull run, even if it's 5 or 10 years from today, you're looking pretty darn sweet. I was patient. All right, let's move on to the next question. We're gonna go over here to the community tab. What are you and your significant other going to do when you reach the $1 million net worth? Are you going for FIRE? Quick thing for people that don't know what FIRE is. Financial independence, retire early. Now that means that you have enough money, and that money is earning enough money on top of it to let you live financially free. You don't actually have to work for your money. Your investments are making so much more compound interest and compound growth that you don't have to work. You just live off the growth. I am not going for FIRE, I'm just going for normal FIRE. And I'll tell you what's really cool about it is we are very close to 1 million. In fact, I think we would be there if it wasn't for such a terrible time in the stock market and the crypto market in 2022. We were on our way, and then this year happened. So now we're kind of sitting here, we're like very close. Very close. I'm very excited. I will do a video once we hit that and go through exactly the steps I took over the last couple of years to get myself to the millionaire status. But yeah, I'm going for normal FIRE, but I'm telling you what, I am not looking to just retire early, but financial independence, regardless of what it is pretty sweet. Even if you're just financially independent, which means that you have the ability to control your life however you want it to be controlled. If you decide one day, I am not going to work anymore, or hey, I'm going to take an extravagant vacation because I can afford to do so, or hey, I just want to live my life the way I want to live. I mean, everything is in control of you because you've worked so hard to get there. And that's what really inspires me about those people that have already achieved financial independence. Next question. Any more SHIB videos? Man, am I ever getting a lot of questions about Shiba Inu. We talked about Shiba Inu about a year ago when it started getting really exciting. I bought Shiba Inu back in September of 2021 when nobody was really talking about it yet. And I thought, you know, this is money that I didn't really care about. I was okay if I lost it, and I threw it into Shiba Inu. And of course, as you may know, in October and November, it absolutely skyrocketed. So I got to enjoy that ride. And yeah, there's two parts to your question. Question number one is, any more SHIB videos? Yes. Now, I haven't done one in a while just because, you know, when I am not talking about things, don't think I sold out. A lot of people think I sold my SHIB. So that's the second part of this question is, no, I did not. I'm still holding. I'm still holding on to the SHIB because I have no need to sell it. Because again, I don't really care about the money. I'm just leaving it in. I have about 185 million SHIB, and I'm just letting it chill. I got it in Webull, which, by the way, Webull is offering an incredible deal for October. They're giving you 12 free stocks. Look at that, 12 free stocks when you open and fund a new account. I've been using Webull for quite a few years, and I absolutely love it. That's where I have my SHIB, but I also have a lot of stock holdings. VTI, I got some Apple stock, I got some QQQ, I got some QQQM, all kinds of good stuff in the Webull app. But 12 free stocks, if you look at this, when you first open an account, and it's free to open the account, it's free to download, all that good stuff. You literally open your account, you're gonna get 2 free fractional share stocks valued up to $300. So if you get the maximum, that's $600 right there. Then all you had to do is deposit any amount. Could be $1, could be $5, could be $100, doesn't matter. Deposit money, which means transferring it out of your bank account into Webull, and that money then is yours to trade in the stock or crypto market with. And then if you do that within 10 days of opening your account, you get an additional 4 to 10 free fractional shares, each valued up to $3,000. Each valued up to $3,000. Imagine get 10 at $3,000. We're talking $30,300. Or actually $30,600 with the 2 free stocks on opening the account. So get your account today, link in the description below. But that's where I have my 185 million SHIB right now, and I'm not selling. There's no need to do it. What I'm looking for though, and the reason I haven't done any SHIB videos is there's not much going on. We've been at like the 1,000 to 1,100 level for a very long period of time. I'm just chilling with that. I don't really care. It's all good. But I will tell you one thing. The adoption of what's going on is what my eye is focused on. Right now we have the Shiba Eternity game coming out, and that game hopefully will create some buzz. Will it immediately skyrocket the price? No, because the entire market is depressed. It's not going to happen. But it continues to grow the ecosystem. When you have things growing, that foundation growing up, that's a good thing, because then when the market does respond, when we get out of this inflation problem and get out of this recessionary problem, then we're going to see a lift as a result of those that have the strongest ecosystem behind them. That is the key. So I got my eye on the game. I got the eye on the blockchain that they're releasing, the Shiba Inu blockchain. Those two things, those things that are coming forward, are good. And yes, you'll see some more SHIB videos as a result of that. So I might do a video here in the next couple of days to respond to that. Let's move on to the next question. When do you see the markets getting stabilized again? I miss those green days. Boy, I'll tell you what, so do I. And I don't see it happening anytime soon for 2 reasons. One was the video I did just last week. Check out that video. I'll link it in the info card above. The second part is the fact that we have a high monetary supply, high inflation, and the Federal Reserve, the people that control all the money in the United States, they have a job. Their job is keep job growth going, but make sure inflation is down. And we need inflation at like 2 or 3%. Right now, inflation has been at 6, 7, 8%. So we have to control that. And until that happens, until we get inflation under control, and we can say, okay, interest rates are settled, inflation's back to 2 to 3%, and now there's confidence in GDP and growth and the market and all that kind of stuff. At that point, we'll then start seeing the market rise. But I'm telling you, it goes back to that image I shared a little bit earlier in the video. Which line are you lining up for? Are you the one that's going to rush when it's hot, or are you rushing to this other person that has Bitcoin or the stock market at a low price? And I'll tell you what, I love buying when the market is bloody red. And it's because when it goes back up, you're riding the wave so much stronger than the people that are joining in as the thing's going up. Because all that happens is what goes up must eventually come down. There's always going to be a correction. You got to figure out what point in the scale of that graph are you going to join in on? Are you joining in the bottom and then riding it all the way to the top? Or are you like halfway up or all the way at the top, which means you have nowhere to go but that downward correction that naturally happens in the cycle of the stock and crypto market? That's the one thing. So I think we're in for a long winter ahead, very long winter ahead. I would see this lasting until 2024. Hate to say it, but a good opportunity to really diversify your investments. Okay, here's a great question. My question is, what's the key to success? I'm not having much luck with it. And the key to success that I've found, and it depends what you identify as successful. Does that mean a great net worth? Does that mean having a great successful career? Does that mean like doing it well here on YouTube? I don't know. Whatever you define success as, I look at it like this. You have to focus on your vision. What is that vision? What is your why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to be successful? And what is that defined as to you? Let's say, for example, your goal is to become a millionaire. And what you need to do is define the tactics and the steps that make you a millionaire. Okay, I need to buy a house and maybe pay it off. I need to invest a lot in the stock market. I need to maybe get into real estate and rent it out to people. I don't know, whatever the different things are that you need to do in order to get to that $1 million net worth. Define them, focus on the vision, ignore the noise. There's gonna be a lot of noise on your way to your goal, on your way to your success point. And it could be people that are just saying, hey, come on, is this worth it? Or hey, come have a beer with me. Or hey, come spend all this money with me. Or hey, some other BS that's gonna pull you away from your goal and your vision. Ignore the noise, focus on the vision. Can you invest partially in EFTs, you mean ETFs, exchange traded funds, or do you need the full amount? For example, I tried to put in a small amount into QQQ because I don't have the full amount for a share and it didn't let me. Depends what brokerage app you're using. If you're using something like Charles Schwab, for example, I have that brokerage as well. They don't allow fractional share trading in the way that some of these other apps do. So if you're just trying to put in like, $10 or, $100 or whatever it may be, it's not going to let you. You're going to have to buy the full share. And I think QQQ is anywhere from like $300 to $400 right now, give or take, or maybe it's $200 now. But whatever that is, $200, $300, $400 doesn't matter. You don't have the money to buy the full share. They're going to make you buy the full share. So get yourself set up with a brokerage app that allows fractional shares. The brokerage I mentioned earlier in the video, Webull, does offer fractional shares, which means you could say, I only want to put $10 into QQQ and then let that grow. And remember, if you're a new investor, that $10, as long as the share price goes up, your $10 follows that. So, because that fraction of the share is now worth more money overall. So your $10 could become $12, could become $15 as it grows with the stock market over the long period of time. And then let's see. All right, next question. You were very transparent about the revenue you made from YouTube. Go check out that video if you want to check that out. Card up above. Do you have someone that records you or do you do it all yourself? If you do it yourself, what equipment do you use and what editing program? Okay, so that's a great question. I use a Canon EOS Mark II. I'll link it down in the description below on an Amazon affiliate link if you want to check out the camera that I use. So yes, I do it all myself. I record everything myself and I edit everything myself. Now I'll tell you, when I first started off, you don't need to go all the way to the moon. As I grew my revenue, I was able to reinvest in the business and buy better equipment. But I'll tell you, in the beginning, I had the crappiest. In fact, I used to just record it on an iPhone. I had the iPhone set up and I had it like balanced against this other thing. And that's what recorded me in the early days. Literally just a phone propped up on a backdrop. And then eventually I got to a point where I am today. I also used a free editing program on the computer to edit my videos. I've now since used the Adobe Creative Cloud, which means Adobe Premiere Pro is the editing software that I use. And yes, I do that all myself. This is a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, but I'll tell you what's really cool about it is you continue to learn. And that's what I love about it is every time I edit a new video, I'm like, hey, what if I do this? What if I try this? What if I do this? What if I add this in? What if I try this? And all of those what ifs and try this becomes a new way to deliver better content to you each and every day. Okay, so with all these questions, there's some other really good ones like let's see your portfolio and things like that. I'm actually gonna save that for a dedicated full video coming up later this month, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. And if you have other questions, maybe I'll dedicate an entire video to it. So comment down below with your questions that you'd like me to address on future videos. By the way, if you wanna check out some other great content, right here it is. Go click on that and we'll see you over on those videos.